to a good start every quarter, because if you don't, there's no way that we're going to be able to do the things that we need to do to be successful, because you can't keep getting behind right off the bat, going on, letting them go on 10-2 runs and things like that. We have to limit their open looks, because Luka is great at driving to the paint. You can see that's my third thing. When Luka drives to the paint, he draws everybody in, then he kicks it out. And if their guys are knocking down the threes, then it's pretty tough to do anything with them. And then our bench needs to step up. We need to have a big scoring night from our bench in order for us to get a W tonight. So those were my keys to the game. And if you watch the game, you'll know that, yeah, that didn't really happen at all. So it was extremely frustrating to watch this game tonight, simply because, you know, uh, we were playing so well on this road trip. We started out 2-0, but part of what our issues were, the first two games, we had 135 and 121. The next two games, we only scored 102 points. You're not going to beat anybody scoring 102 points in this league. Not going to beat anybody. And so we lost those two games by only scoring 102. Now, is that a result of us being our third and fourth games on the road and this is our fifth one? Well, you can't say that, because we scored 114. So you can't really say that. I mean, you can, but I don't buy that. I think it's just a matter of us missing shots, and part of it, SGA didn't have double-digit field goal field goal makes for both of those games. So that really killed us as well, because, as I've said many times, SGA needs to have a high percentage. He needs to be going 11 for 22, 12 for 21, things like that, 12 for 25. No, 12 for, he didn't really shoot 25 times. He very rarely ever does that. But so anyway, that's what we kind of need to do. That's our formula. We have to score a lot of points in the paint. We have to defend out there and don't give up open looks. And when you see our stats, and I've done this, what I did today, and I told you what I was going to do. I was going to start coming through and watching, and I'm going to start that Wednesday. I'm going to write when we score and when we don't, when the lineups are, when do they go on runs, when do we have lulls, because it's just bugging me if what I'm saying is true about when we have certain lineups in, that's when teams go on runs on us. So that's going to be part of what I am going to try to figure out. And then if I'm wrong, I am wrong, and I have no problem admitting that. But my eye test does not say that to me, so we shall see. Anyway, in the first quarter, here are the stats from the first quarter. The Mavs we outscored the Mavs 28-23. We were doing great, and you can see we held them to 3 threes out of 15 attempts. They were shooting 23%. So what does that mean? We started out a little slow coming out of the gate, but, we ended up picking up the pace. And we started out with SGA, Josh, Dort, J-Dub, and Poku instead of J-Rob, which, to me, Robinson Earl, I like him coming off, or Wiggins, but Wiggins was a DNP tonight. So J-Dub did well in his starting role, but like I said, I like J-Dub coming off the bench because he gives us an extra added benefit off the bench, but that's just me. The Mavs were 3 for 15 from 3. They shot 23%. They had 14 rebounds, 14 points in the paint. That was it, with only one turnover. And the Mavericks, they just don't turn the ball over. So that's about par for the course for them, only one turnover in that first quarter. Then we were 4 for 8 from 3, 47%, 15 rebounds, 12 pips, and 5 turnovers. Mavs bench scoring, they had 2 points in the bench. We had 6. So part of when you look at what was going on in that first quarter, it was simply because our defense, we were getting out, we were all over the place, we were flying, and it just, they started out, they got on a little run on us, and our D got us back in. Because remember, they shoot a lot of threes, so long shots equal long rebounds equal transitional points, which equal us getting into the flow of the game, which is exactly what happened in that first quarter. We were able to stop them, get out in transition, and making some and our ball movement. I got my notes right here. Our ball movement was fantastic in the first quarter, and Isaiah Joe was just stepping in, but he has a beautiful stroke, And when we pass the ball, and he's just standing there. He's not trying to do a whole lot. He's not trying to do like that's the thing that bothers me with Trey Mann. Just get into the flow of the offense. Let the offense come to you. But as soon as he gets on, he wants to score. He does not let the ball come to him the way that Isaiah Joe does. And I think that frustrates the coaching staff because Isaiah Joe has cut into quite a few minutes that were normally Trey Mann's minutes. But anyway, Thunder up 28-23. Second quarter, the Thunder, we start Josh, Robinson Earl, Trey Mann, Baisley, and J-Dub. And I'm just going, okay, that's not a bad, but I remember, for me, it's who you start the quarter out with that makes a difference to me. And basically, he's deserving of a chance. I mean, let's face it, he's gone, and we know that. He knows that. And it's unfortunate because I like the kid, but, I mean, he just either doesn't fit into what the Thunder are trying to do, A, or B, he's just not that great. I mean, you pretty much take your choice or pick on what you think that situation is. But anyway, they go on a 9-4 run to start the second quarter. I was just like, here we go. 9-4 run. They get into a groove. We allow them to knock down some shots. And then here we are, 3 straight threes. And, boom, boom, boom. Scores 37-37. We got back into the game. And at that point, we had Terrence Mann, Josh, J-Dub, Baisley, and then Robinson Earl. And then after that, it was over. They were knocking down threes. And the problem is, once an NBA team, even us, when we get into a groove and we start knocking down shots, there's nothing you can do to stop them. And part of my issue was that, and part of my stats at the beginning of the game were simple. What was my keys? Keep Luka out of the paint. Do not let him kick it out and let them get wide open looks without getting our hand in their faces. So second quarter, that did not happen. They just absolutely murdered us, knocking down 10 threes, and they just got into a groove, and it was over. I mean, it was over for that quarter. I mean, that's what cost us the game, was they got onto the deal, they got onto a field, they got out and started rolling, and then it was over. I mean, it really was. I mean, they killed us. They won this game in the second quarter. 52-66, they went on a 12-2 run to end the quarter. Yeah, you heard me. 12-2 run to end the quarter. And normally with SJ in there, he can kind of stop that, by the little things that he does because, with Shea, we know we're going to get two. And that's what I wish that these other Thunder players would understand. Like Dort, dude, this is the second, third game in a row you were 1 for 6. You're now 3 for 18 from 3. And you continue to shoot them. It's like you shoot them and then you'll decide to go to the basket and run over somebody. And it just drives me nuts. Thunder, do him the way you did Trey and the way you do Aaron Wiggins. Now, he is your best defensive player, so I understand that. And maybe you're compensating him by saying, okay, we're going to allow you to shoot. Well, hell, that costs us points. To me, you need a good coach in there that says, look, here's your role. Just like the Lakers, Russell, you're coming off the bench. This is your role. If you want to do it, great. If you don't, you're out of here. But the problem is, who's going to want Lou Dort to pay him as much money as the Thunder's paying him? That's the question. So when you look at that, to me, I'm going to sit him down going, bro, I don't want you shooting no more than, if you catch a wide open three and you shoot it, that's fine. Shoot it in the moment. But when you're missing and you're not on, then you don't do that. Okay, you got to try to do something else. Just play defense, because when you're not on, and all you're doing is costing us possessions because, one, of your shot selection, and two, you can't finish. And today he went barreling through. We're down 9. He goes barreling through in the fourth quarter and runs over somebody. It's like, man, what the hell are you doing? Oh, I haven't shot for a minute, so let me get my shot in. Well, you're not a scorer. And I wish the coaching staff would put him in his place, but I don't think our coaching staff either has the desire, the guts, or the desire to do it. To me, get your coach in there that's going to go, bro, we need you to go back and do what you've done in college and what you got here doing. You stop the other player, and if you can get some shots here and there, great. But we don't need you to try to be a scorer. And that's facts. Thunder halftime stats are simple. Mavericks up 66-52. The Mavericks 13 for 31. Remember, they were 3 for 15 the first quarter. They were 10 for 16 the second quarter. Why? Allowed them to get into the paint, And then all of a sudden, we're leaving three-point shooters, not getting out there, getting a hand in their face, and they absolutely just murdered us. And there's not a lot you can do with that except don't leave your man on the three-point line. You stay there. So what if they score 2 points? That's fine. So what if they take a shot there? Do not leave your man out there on the three-point line, especially once they got going. And Tim Hardaway Jr. was just, oh my God, he murdered us. He just murdered us in the second quarter and on into the third. So anyway, Mavs 13 for 31, shooting 40%, 29 rebounds, only 12 points in the paint with 4 turnovers. So we got 3 turnovers in that quarter. That's just a good thing. We turned them over 3 times. Oklahoma City 7 for 19. We were 3 for 11 in that second quarter because what do the Thunder do? The team starts making threes. What do? Oh, let's go shoot threes. No, just get baskets. Just maintain, even though you're doing a 1 point difference is better than a 3-point difference. And these guys just think, oh, we're going to shoot. We can't shoot the ball. It's just, I don't understand it. The coaching staff needs to go, hey, look, go get points. Go get points. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Go get points. That's what you need to do right there. 44% from the field, 21 rebounds, 22 pips, so we got them outscored there. 7 turnovers, but only, 18 points from our bench. Mavs 20 points from our bench. Those are the type of things that as a Thunder fan and as an analyst, those are things that drive me nuts. That drives me nuts, dude. Just go get 2 points. Quit trying, that's what happened in the Cavaliers game. You get down 12, they start making some threes, all of a sudden, here we go, start trying to match them. No! That's the good thing about SGA when he's in the game. He goes and gets 2 points because he understands. So what, they make a 3. We just made 2. They've only gained 1 point. So what, they come down and make a 3 and we score another 2 points. We're only giving up 2 points. Whereas the other, when he's not there, everybody's going to shoot a 3. So all of a sudden, that 3 points is now, instead of 2 points, it's 6 points. Because you get 2 empty possessions. They've got back-to-back threes. So instead of you being a -2, you're a -6. Those are the little things that I'm talking about that make the difference in whether the Thunder can win or lose games, and that should be up to the coaching staff to instill that in them. And then, like tonight, Mark Dagnall was talking about with threes and all that. Well, dude, talk about your team. Talk about how your team takes ill-advised threes. Talk about how your team is not smart in what they do from shooting-wise. We don't need to match them. Go get 2 points. Like I said, if we hit 2 in a row, they hit 2 threes in a row, that's only -2. But when you don't have SJ in there and you got these other guys out there shooting, thinking, okay, let's match them with threes, they're on a run, well, you can't shoot. And we shoot threes in transition, in the flow of the game. That's when we shoot threes. And until we get them to understand that, we are in trouble. Here are our sponsors. I want to thank these guys, Collaborative Logic. If you have any needs for any computers or if you have some software that you need written, they can help you work as far as your offices are concerned or website designs. If you need some quotes done online, they have perfect software that can just tailor specifically for your business. SRB, contact my boy Mark Long for any engineering, surveying, or planning. They love to be behind the scenes on that. And then, of course, Oak Grove Trucking and my guy Jose Fierro and his dump trucks. Please hook my boy up if you got any big rocks or any dirt that needs to be moved. He is the man. And Greg and Max Nafee of Nafco, appreciate them always having my back and sponsoring me. Appreciate that. And then last but not least, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, and even more importantly, they sponsor our remote live streams at Black, minority, and women-owned businesses. Like tonight, we're at Cats, and we appreciate their sponsorship for us to be out here doing this live stream after the Thunder game. And if you want to pre-qualify online for any personal loans or any business loans, you want to buy some land, you want to buy some houses, you want to buy buildings, whatever, they are the people to go to, talk to. I suggest that you pre-qualify online. Go get all your stuff, get all your paperwork, get it all done, and then go in and see Joe Horn or Nathan Taylor or Carson right. Those guys will be perfect. And when you walk in, hey, all your stuff's done. They can just have you sign it on the dotted line. Here's your check, or they can deposit it into your account if you are if you have a account there at the bank. And then once again, we are at Cat's Tavern, 901 64th Street, just one block north of class, or 63rd and Class, or excuse me, one block east, one block north and east of 63rd and Classen. Actually, on 64th. You can only go west, or excuse me, east on 64th. So their hours are Monday through Sunday, or Sunday through Monday, from 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. So please come take care of the beverages. They've got a bunch of specials during the week, especially game specials. I think it's like $2 domestic beers or something like that. So please come in and support Cats. If you've never been here, once you come, I promise you, you will come back. So that being said, let's get into the third quarter of the Thunder game. Thunder down 52-66. They start out with SGA, Josh, Dort, J-Dub, and Poku are our starting lineup right there. And then, you know, the thing that I've got this right here is just SGA gets it and Dort doesn't. The rest of the team doesn't get it. He gets it, like I said earlier. He understands, hey, go get the mid-range. Knock down 2 points. It doesn't have, I mean, I know this is a three-point shooting game, but those days are really pretty much over. Teams overwhelming you from three on a consistent basis. There are no more Golden State, you know, they very rarely do that anymore. 2-point baskets are the ones that win games. Get the twos, knock down threes occasionally, cut down on the amount of threes you take. But more importantly, it's not that you take threes, it's when you take them. What part of the game? What is the situation? Understand situational basketball. Those are things that we need to do, because we don't need to get into a three-point shooting contest because we can't. And then once again, they come out, they're knocking down threes. Tim Hardaway was killing us. And then all of a sudden, here comes J-Dub. J-Dub starts knocking down shots. He was doing everything that he needed to do. And I'm just like, man, go ahead, J-Dub. Do what you do. And Luka, he is the biggest baby. Oh, my God, my guy Randy right now, we're talking from YMB. We're talking on the phone during the game and just kind of doing our notes and just kind of visiting. He goes, Luka is ridiculous. And he called this. If you'll watch Luka, he steps out of bounds. He doesn't do it all the time, but he does quite a bit. He takes and he does 1 foot out of bounds with the right foot up. And then he steps in bounds with his right foot as he passes the ball. Now, what happens is most officials, they don't ever pay attention to it because they basically just go, okay, he's throwing the ball in and they just move. Kind of like what Russell did when he walked the ball up the court that one time. They don't pay attention. Once they give you the ball, they're looking up to see if somebody's fouling or whatever. They're not paying attention to whether you're throwing the ball in correctly or not. And Luka gets away with it. And when he brought that to my attention, I'm just like, wow, he's right. But Luka is such a baby, talking about, oh, I got hit in the face by SGA. You know, he ran over to Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd, like, man, get out of my face, man. I'm not calling that. I'm not wasting a timeout or a challenge on you, which was good because later on he did get a challenge on a goaltending call that the refs called that clearly was not. SGA missed. Now, at first look, it looked like SGA shot it, and then they came over, I think it was Christian Wood that knocked it out, I think. And they called goaltending, and then when you went back and looked at it, you're like, no, he shot it short. That was a clean block, and Jason Kidd used his challenge. Now, had he listened to Luka and did the challenge that Luka wanted to do, that would not have been successful. Like what we did with Josh Giddey by throwing a hip. And the reason why we did the challenge, I understand why Coach did the challenge, was simply because he was trying to do it to protect, because they had just knocked down a three. They were up 11. He was trying to keep the momentum from going that direction. And it did help a little bit because it did slow it down, and then they missed the shot anyway. So it did do that, but it cost us a timeout. And then on this other side, Jason Kidd said no, and it ended up saving him. I don't blame him. He knows, he coaches Luka. He knows he's a big baby. He's like, dude, I'm not giving you any of that. We're not doing that. But, you know, then J-Dub knocks down some shots. All of a sudden, he thinks he does a heat check. Dude, that's out of your range. You're not a three-point shooter. He was about 3 feet back past what is normally he can shoot the ball from, barely touched the arm. Dude, what are you doing? He came down and shot another three. What are you doing? Those are the type of things I'm talking about as a coaching staff. You need to coach. Now he's a rookie, so you got to coach him up, and that's part of my deal with SGA. Hey, take the ball. It's like, hey man, come down. Hey, that's over with. Let's get some easy baskets. Go to the basket. If you open from mid range, then fine. But don't go back and try to keep shooting threes because we need to stay in the game. And part of that is us understanding that. And then the second thing is quit leaving your man at the three when Luka drives. I talked about in my keys to the game. Do not leave your man on the three-point line. So what if Luka gets to the paint, scores a basket? But the problem is you're taught as an athlete when the pocket or when a guy drives, you're taught to slide over and help him out. But in today's game, that means a kick-out three, especially with Dallas. That's what they do. They live and die by the three-point line. That's why they're now 14 and 13, and we're 11 and 16, simply because of the way that they go about it. Can't leave your guy. You can't leave your guy. And when you do, it spells disaster, for us. So here are the third quarter stats. The Mavs are up 97-90. We obviously cut into that lead that they had, which we needed to because they were just absolutely killing us from that. But we cut into their lead and did what we needed to do damage-wise for that. And part of it, remember, the third quarter, we're, second, I believe now, as far as points that we score in the third and that we give up. So that really helps. And we had 38 points in the third, and we gave up 31. Because part of what we do is we have that 4-point margin, which makes a huge difference and brings us back. So anyway, third quarter has always been our quarter. We cut into their lead. We're only down 97-90 by 7 points. The Mavs are now 20 for 45 for 40%, 42 rebounds, 18 pips, and the reason why they didn't have a lot of points because they were knocking down threes and then getting their hands on rebound because they're so much longer because we're just not big enough inside. We just have no trees in the middle to really help out with us that way. 9 turnovers. Oklahoma City, on the other hand, we were 9 for 25 from 3, 48%, 30 rebounds, 38 pips, and only 8 turnovers. So we're taking care of the ball, they're taking care of the ball. And remember, we lead the league in takeovers from them, averaging 17 turnovers a game for the opponents when we are doing what we need to do. The Mavs, bench scoring, they were just killing us. A lot of that is because J-Dub wasn't coming off the bench. You had Robinson Earl all coming off the bench. And like I said, to me, your best lineup always has been, even though he barely uses it anymore, was SGA, Josh, Dort, Wiggins, and Poku. That's been the best lineup. Or you throw Robinson Earl in. That's been his best starting lineup. But, I guess it depends on what team you're playing in their mind and how they look at it. For me, there's no choice or no – when I look at what we're doing, I'm like, okay, you went 6 out of 8 with that lineup, and then all of a sudden you stop doing it. I'm confused. I don't understand their thinking. My guy Randy Wright sent me a post or sent me a text about, our coaching. I'm like, dude, I don't like. Our coaching staff I don't understand it. I don't understand him. I think that we're at this point now when he was fine for what we had him for, but now you have this team that's ready to make another step, and you can do that right now with this team. Next year, when you get Chet back, and we can see where Chet is either going to be the transcendent player that they think he is. I don't think that's the case, but some people do, so we shall see. You got a whole year, plus it'll be Josh and SGA's third year playing together, along with Dort. They'll be rolling. That gives everybody else at least 2 years or 3 years playing with SGA. That's Trey Mann. You got Wiggins. So you got a nice base, and depending on what you add in the draft, 1 or 2 players this year, it can make a huge, huge difference with what the Thunder do upcoming. But I think now you need a coach that can take you to the next level. Now, I hate to say, hey, fire the guy, but I just don't. I think that he was a G League coach, and when we weren't trying to win, hey, he was fine. But now you're at the point where you got guys who are kind of winning, and he's costing you games. He's costing you points. I'm sorry. He's costing you points. And like I said, I'm going to chart based on what lineup he has, when this lineup comes in, and what the final score or when that lineup goes out. What is the point differential? I'm going to start tracking that to see if I'm right or see if I'm wrong in a choice in a period of the game. So we shall see. I think that I'm right, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, end of the game, final score. Wait a minute. Let me go back and just do a little bit of fourth quarter. My thing is, in the fourth quarter, we were coming back and we finally got into the passing lanes. We made some nice deals. But my deal is, Dort, you're down there, and he just play D. That was part of what I was saying. Just play D. Quit trying to score. And SGA, stop passing the ball. You just take over the last 3 minutes, unless you threw the ball away trying to hit an open man and you're in the paint. Just finish. You had 42 tonight. Just finish it off. So that's that's my rant. It's over with. Just shoot the ball. Quit passing the ball. Okay, you're you're in the paint, finish it off. Now, if you're driving, they come over, then kick it out, fine. But you could have knocked down that shot, but of course you're thinking, we need a 3. No, we just need to score. We need to score because we ended up with nothing. Empty possessions do not help you at all. Anyway, the Thunder fall 114-121. The Mavericks improved to 14-13. The Thunder are now 11-16, losers of their last 3 in a row. The Mavs had lost 2 in a row as well, and now they're back on the winning side. Of course, they finally got home, and that did help. Mavericks ended up being 22 for 54 for basically 40%, which is what they were from the field. 41%, amazing. 50 rebounds, 32 points in the paint, which of course they didn't need them because they were knocking down threes because we were leaving our man on the line, which is like I've been griping about that this whole live stream about how that frustrated the hell out of me. Stay on your man. Let Luka drive. You know what he's going to do. Oklahoma City, 10 for 31. Once again, shooting too many threes. That's just what we do. That's just how we are. That's the coaches need to, for whatever reason. They're like, what's the three-point shooting league? Well, that's fine. You don't have three-point shooters. And I'm going to give you the stat breakdown of what we shoot from threes. 47% from the field, 42 rebounds, 52 pips, which that was largely SGA like it always is, with only 13 turnovers, which is about what we average, 13, 14 turnovers a game. The Mavs, 34 bench scoring points, Oklahoma City 29. And then when you go back and you look at, because what we do is I compare the first half and the second half so you can kind of get a good feel for what happened. What did we do the second half? The Mavs were 13 for 31 the first half, they were 9 for 23 the second half. And really that was the third quarter that they made a lot of threes in the third quarter. So we did a great job of cutting them off, and that's how we got back into the game, into the fourth quarter. We did a great job getting some stops, doing fantastic what we were doing when we had Owen Uri, we had SGA, Dort, Joe, Owen Uri, and J-Dub. When that group in there, we were fantastic playing defense. Like what I saw to that group, getting out, getting into fast lanes, playing defenses. And this one thing about Josh, he just does not be able to guard and defend out on the perimeter as of yet, but he is getting there, and he will only get better. But you can see us, we were 7 for 19 for the first half, and the second half you can just see it's just 10 for 31. So we were 3 for 12 for the second half. You just can't. You just can't. And it's when we shoot. It's not that you shoot. It's when you shoot. You cannot shoot those games to shoot the threes when you shoot them. And you can see 44%, 47% the second half. They even increased by 1%. Rebounds, we were down by 8, and we ended up losing by 8. We were up by 10 in pips, ended up winning by 20 in the pips. That's because SGA got going there in the second half. And then bench scoring, they outscored us 14-11 bench scoring, but a lot of that was not having J-Dub in there, and that's part of what you've got to do is have J-Dub in there. And if you have J-Dub, it makes a huge difference on what we do. And these is what I was talking about as far as stats for the Oklahoma City Thunder. We're averaging 115 points a game. Our opponents are averaging 117 points a game. We're shooting 46% from the field. Our opponents are shooting 46.9% from the field. Three-point percentage, we're shooting 34%. They're shooting 35.7. Assists, we're averaging 24.3. Our opponents are averaging 24.9. And then you can see turnovers, we're at 14.2. Our opponents are at 17. So we're turning the ball over, which is allowing us to stay in games, but we get so far behind that it's hard for us to catch up. So we get all those steals because we're running all over the place, which helps, but it hurts us in the overall scheme of things because we don't get enough stops when we need them, and it really hurts us when it comes down to it, and you just can't keep falling behind. You just can't do it. Thunder box scoring, you can see it right here. SGA doing work, 42 points, 14 to 23 with 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Josh Giddey, 14 points, 6 for 13 with 4 assists, and Josh 2 for 2. Loved both of his threes. SGA did knock down 1 3. His other 3, I thought it was a good shot from the corner. He doesn't shoot a lot, but when he does shoot, they're good decisions. Dort, 12 points. Look at that. 3 for 11, 1 for 6. 3 games in a row, 1 for 6. He's now 3 for 18. Dude, when are they going to say something to him? You can say something to Trey Mann. You need to say something to him and keep him from shooting threes. And it's when he shoots them. That's my problem with him. I don't mind him shooting. It's when you shoot them. 7 rebounds and 4 turnovers. And part of my thing with Dort, again, is in college, people knew what he was. And in the pros, you're trying to make him something he's not. He is what he is. Don't try to remake the guy. Just know this is who you are. This is what we need you to do. We need you to stop the other opponent's best guy. We need you to score occasionally. We don't need you looking for your shot, trying to score and drive to the basket and do things that you're just not capable of. And I've been saying that for 2 years now, and it has not, or a year and a half, it has not changed. Poco, 0 points, 0 for 3, 0 for 2 from 3, but he did have 9 rebounds. And he just didn't match up with these guys. They're too athletic for him. They're all his size, basically, but they're just too athletic, too quick, and he just can't function when he goes against guys like that. But I do like him a lot. Robinson Earl, 6 points, 2 for 3, 0 for 1, with only 2 rebounds. We got to have more than that out of you, big fella. Baisley, 4 points, 2 for 7, and he was 0 for 3 from 3. And anyway, Baisley, 4 rebounds. J-Dub, what another good game from him. 17 points, 8 for 13, 1 for 4 from 3, with 2 rebounds and 4 assists. Once again, this kid is just really doing his thing. I like everything about him and what he's bringing to the table. What a find by Sam Presti, and I just take my hat off to him. Yuri, 2 points, 1 for 3. And he's just a big bruiser. He goes in there, he just gets physical, and I like that. But, he's a two-way player, and I get it. But I'd much rather have Aaron Wiggins. That's just me. But, once again, I'm not in practice. I don't know why. He's probably sulking because of what's going on with him and what's happening with that. That's what it seems like to me when it comes down to what's going on with Aaron Wiggins. Because, you took him and you took your other best player, and you've got them it's just frustrating to me. Terrence Mann, 5 points, Mark Long's best favorite player. Trey Mann, Mark Long's favorite player, 5 points, 2 for 5, 1 for 3, 2 rebounds. And then Isaiah Joe doing his second game in a row with 12 points. Fantastic. He made some big, huge shot. I love the way his 3 is so pure, the way he shoots it. And he's very particular. He just doesn't rush it. He doesn't take ill-advised shots. He just lets they actually come to him, and he just gets himself in the right place. And that's come with age because he's been in the league a few years, so he knows how to get open and where to slide to. He's watched what SGA does and what Josh does, and so he knows how to get open to facilitate and knock down shots for us. Anyway, 4 for 7. Of course, 4 for 7 for 3. That's all he took. 7 huge rebounds. Now, one thing I would like to see out of him, I would like to see more assists out of him. But right now, he feels like his role is to shoot the ball, because when he's in there a lot of times with SGA, and when he's in there with SGA, everybody knows, here I'm going to go to the point. And Josh was sitting over there on the other side of the court with his hands up. I'm like, bro, he's not going to do a cross-court pass with your defender in the passing lane. Get your hands down. Move, go open, slide to the basket, do something. I'm not going to throw a cross-court pass. You will try to throw a cross-court pass and get it stolen. But you don't throw a cross-court pass. Here I am at the elbow. You're right there at the wing. I can't throw a pass over there. You have to slide to where I can see you. You're just going, hey, I'm open, give me the ball. Well, no, it doesn't work that way. You have to move without the ball. Cut to the basket. He will hit you. You got to do that. Those are the things that Josh is going to need to do, to me, for the Thunder to go to the next level. So once again, I want to thank Kat for her allowing us to come and do our remote live stream, the Thunder after-game, post-game analysis show. I appreciate her allowing us to come here. And then, of course, we want to thank YNB for their sponsorship of us so that we can go out and promote women-owned businesses. Of course, this is a women-owned business, and we appreciate Kat allowing us to come here, and we appreciate YNB for their support in allowing us or sponsoring us so that we can go out and promote different businesses, women's deal. So I'm pleased with that. So I'm excited about our show. We've got some great stuff coming up. We're going to start our remotes, live streams again. So I'm pumped up about that. And then once that gets going, you'll be able to call in and text and all that. So we're in the process of getting people to sponsor the texts and the calls in and the things like that. So I'm excited, and hopefully that will increase our viewership and listenership. So that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching this edition of After the Storm, your Thunder post-game analysis, giving you the real